It's not to be wasted or thrown away. In the next 30 minutes, we're going to try to prove it to you.
Got a match, Willie?
Oh, yeah. Here you go.
Oh, thanks. First cigarette of the day, boys. Anything tastes as good?
Yeah, first cup of coffee.
Yeah, you're right, boy. I'm telling you, the way Grace makes it real good. You got to drink it faster. It eats the cup right out of your hand.
Yeah, know what you mean. That's the way I like it.
I don't like to bring this up, Clipper. You better move this thing. We're going to be late. You looked at the time?
We got lots of time. 10 minutes to 8.
Small clue for you, boy. That clock is slow. We got 5 minutes to punch in. Come on, move this thing, huh?
All right. Sure glad I spotted you guys this morning. I'd have been late, sure.
Yeah, what does that fit with your car?
Oh, I don't know. I think the battery's dead. You know me, I got trouble working a penny scale. Something goes wrong with the car, and I call the auto club.
Okay.
You're to ride with us, Willie. Carpool would save you dough in the long run. Trucks. Come on, Mac. Drive it or park it. There, he's pulling over. They sure teach those truck drivers how to drive.
Oh, they drive way ahead of themselves.
You better step on it, Clip. Another one that's coming. We'll make it.
You're not going to make it.
Watch it!
Step on it. See anybody move? Must be 3-4 guys in there. Think we should try to get them out?
They can't be alive, none of them. We better get out of here. Gas all over the place. Goes up, the whole thing's gonna blow sky high.
Hey, wait a minute, one of them's alive.
Which one, can you tell?
No, give me a hand. Let's get this door open.
You get someone. Turn off the ignition.
Yeah. Hey, help me on this door.
Oh, God.
That's out of my eye. Please. Let's take this one.
I can't get the...
Better put this cigarette out. I don't want to start a fire.
I can't breathe. Somebody help me, will you, please? Please help me.
Easy. Guy's cascade in. Take it easy. Here come the cops.
Mike, you want to call the ambulance?
Yeah, Sam, right away.
Any of you men in the car?
It drove up right after it happened, though. All this gas around, I thought it'd be best if we got them out.
Yeah, sure. How many more of them in there?
Near as I can tell, 2 more. They're broken up pretty bad.
Any of them alive?
Just that one over there. At least that's all we know.
Well, let's get the others out.
In my eyes.
How did it happen? I don't know. The truck parked back of the road. Side of it all smashed in. Driver in the seat, he might know.
By the way, Sam, any of them alive?
Yeah, one we know about. It's like his chest is crushed. Bad cut on his head. Want to check the truck down the road, see if he knows what happened.
Yeah, I'll bring him back.
Looks like they're going to try to do something for the one that's alive. Can't just let him die.
Get the other one out. I'll see what I can do.
Hey, who's that?
Take it easy, mister.
I can't see it.
The doctor's on the way.
Help me, will you?
You're going to be all right. Now, take it easy.
Hey, the others. There's more. You gotta get the others.
Come on now. Don't try to move. Don't move now. They're all right.
Who are you? Who you? Not what can I see? My eyes, I can't get them clean. I can't breathe. I can't get in the air. Look, mister, will you please, will you do something, please?
How about it, officer? Ambulance be here pretty quick.
Yeah, it'll be here.
Hope they make it.
There's no rush. He's dead.
The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with the National Safety Council, presents The Survivors, starring Mr. John Hodiak as Officer Sam Pearson.
This is the story of an accident. Where it happened isn't important. The real names don't matter. But the people left behind, what happened in the homes of the dead, the tears and sorrow of the families, that's important. The scars left in the lives of the survivors. That's important. And that's what this story's about. Let's find out who they are, Mike.
Yeah.
They sending out the wagon?
Yeah. Hey, Sam, I'll read off their names. The first one's Leon Roberts, 443 East Tyburn.
Tyburn, yeah.
Next one's William Spall, 36645 Wingate Avenue.
A-L-L.
That's right. 36645 Wingate Avenue.
Okay.
Next one's Gus Greco, Greco, Greco. 900 East Kendall Drive.
Next one?
Clipper Emery, 5702 Thames Road.
Okay. I want to leave the wallets with the bodies. They got to be booked.
Yeah. It's a rough one, I say.
Yeah. They never get any better.
It's the worst one I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, the ambulance driver gave me the slips. 4 DOA's wagon's on the way. Now, we better get going. I'll ask the driver to call when you can talk to the truck driver, huh?
Yeah.
I guess that wraps it up, I say.
Guess so.
Why, Sam? Why's it got to happen?
We knew that, we could stop the whole thing. The ambulance comes out, and the attendant looks. Then he listens and looks at you. You know what's coming, and there's no way to stop it. He writes out 4 slips. D-O-A. You got 4 pieces of paper. 4 human beings that aren't anymore. There are 6 kids without fathers. 4 women without husbands. 10 people who had the bottom yanked right out from under them. They don't know it yet, but you got to tell them. We drove back to the office and filled out the reports. News of the accident had already been broadcast. Chances were that some of the families of the dead already knew. First name on the list, Emery Clipper, driver of the car. He was survived by his wife, Mildred, and 1 child, a boy, 8. Want to try again?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Mrs. Clipper?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, police officers, ma'am. Like to talk to you if we could.
Yes, I know. Come in, won't you?
Oh, thank you.
It's about my husband, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I knew it. Knew it right away. Hospital call. I knew you'd be here. Can I get you a cup of coffee, something you'd like?
No, thank you. You called your family doctor, ma'am?
No, I haven't. Nothing he could do. Clip's dead. Nothing to do. I don't know how I'm going to tell Jackie. I don't know how I'm going to make him understand.
That's your son, ma'am?
Yes, he's my son, Jackie. I haven't told him yet.
Is the boy here now, ma'am?
Yes, sir. He's taking him there. So many different colors. Red and green and blue. Christmas tree ornaments. Clip and Jackie were going to decorate the tree tonight. Don't you think they're pretty, officer?
Yes, ma'am.
Funny, isn't it?
I beg your pardon?
Funny, I can't cry. The tears won't come. I can feel them. I know they're there, but they won't come out. They just stay inside and press.
Ma'am, who's your doctor? We'd like to call him.
Jackie won't understand. I don't know how to tell him. All the plans we made for Christmas. How am I going to tell him? I'm going to have a big party. Oh, this bulb's pretty. Clipper's going to dress up like Santa Claus, play with the kids. Big time. We had it all planned. Guess we'll have to change him a little bit now. Gonna have to change him. Do I have to go down and look at him?
No, ma'am. That won't be necessary.
Is it my fault, officer? Did I do something to make this happen?
I don't understand, Mrs. Clipper.
God must have a reason for this. A reason for taking Clip. It must be something I've done. I've been trying to think. I've been sitting here trying to remember, but I can't. All I think of is how Clip looked when we got married. 12 years ago. All nice and clean in his blue suit. Only suit he owned. Dark blue, still has it. Then I looked when Jackie was born. I was so proud, and I told me I'd done good when they took me out of delivery. I've been trying to think of why, but I can't. Can you? Do you know why?
No, I don't know, ma'am. I don't know the reason.
They're going to bring Clip, aren't they? Say it was his fault?
Well, I don't know, Mrs. Clipper. I don't think so.
Yes, they will. They'll blame him. I know they will. They'll say it's his fault.
No, they won't, ma'am. I know they won't. Can't we call you doctor, please, Mrs. Clipper?
All right. May Maybe it'd be better if I went to sleep. Maybe it'll be easier tomorrow. I guess it would be.
Sure.
Maybe I can cry tomorrow. Here it is. The star. It's the silver star that goes on top of the tree.
Miss Clipper.
It shines so bright when the tree's lit.
The address on the driver's license had read Leon Allen Roberts, 443 East Tyburn. It was a small white frame house set back from the street. Large fir tree in the front yard was decorated. Lights on it were ringed with frost. Mike stayed in the car. I walked up the used brick path and rang the bell.
Yes?
Mrs. Roberts?
She's inside. I'm Mrs. Barnes, the next-door neighbor.
Police officer. May I come in?
Oh, yes, of course. Come in. It's about the accident, isn't it?
Yes.
Mrs. Roberts is in there. She's crying. She put it on the phonograph about an hour ago. She's been playing it over and over.
Oh. Think I could talk to her?
It might help. Just a minute, officer.
Oh.
Grace, honey, there's a man from the police station. I think you ought to talk to him.
Yes.
All right, officer.
Mrs. Roberts? Mrs. Roberts?
Yeah, what is it? Who are you?
I'm a police officer, ma'am. Sam Pearson. I'd like to talk to you if I could.
Talk. Will it do any good?
I don't understand, Mrs. Roberts.
Talk. Can we talk Lee back to life? Everybody wants to talk. Just sit and talk. What good does it do? All this talk, none of it helps.
Well, it's just that there are a few things that we have to take care of, ma'am.
You hear that record, officer?
Yes.
I'll be seeing you. I guess almost every married couple has a song. Their song, that was ours. All through school, it was ours. We used to ask the orchestra leader to play it when we went up to a dance. It was special. It was ours. Now it's just a record, a lot of words. Our song, no, it doesn't mean anything.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Roberts.
You're sorry. They're going to bring me back. Like this record. Just a lot of words that don't say anything. Just go on and never stop. He didn't have to die. He had a lot to live for. All the reasons in the world. He didn't have to die. He didn't want to. You arrest that Clipper. You got him in jail. He's the one to blame. It was all his fault.
Clipper's dead, ma'am.
All right, he's dead. So's Lee. What's that proof? Driving around without thinking. What's it done? I'll tell you. It took my husband. It took him out and broke him up in little pieces. Smashed him. Clipper killed him just like he pointed a gun at Lee and pulled the trigger. Don't tell me he didn't.
Wait a minute, Mrs. Roberts. I know how you feel.
No, you don't. You don't know what it's like to hear your husband's dead. You don't know what it's like when you get sick all over and you want to get rid of the knot in your stomach and you can't. And it feels like your eyes are going to burn right out of your head from crying. Look at me. I can't cry anymore. I've cried all I can. Now I've got to think of the time ahead. Of how I'm going to manage. I'm going to live with no reason. And I got no reason. Nothing but hurt.
I just left the Clipper house. You know what's going on over there? Mrs. Clipper can't cry. Her husband's dead and she can't cry. She's got no way to let all the feeling out. She's got a little boy. He doesn't know yet. Now, how do you tell an 8-year-old boy his father's dead? How do you make excuses for not taking him fishing or tell him that Dad isn't going to be Santa Claus? How do you do it, Mrs. Roberts? You know?
You got no right to come in here and talk to me like this. You get out of this house. You get out right now. You're here right now.
All right, ma'am. I'm sorry if I said anything to hurt you. I'm sorry, Mrs. Barnes.
She'll be all right. It's just that it was such a shock.
Sure.
And she didn't mean all those things she said. Just that she and Lee were so much in love.
I understand, Mary.
Officer?
Yeah?
Officer, wait a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
You said that Mrs. Clipper was home now, alone.
That's right.
I think it'd be all right if I went over to see her. Told her that I know it wasn't Clipper's fault.
Yes, ma'am. I think it'll be fine. The third name on the list was Gus Greco, 900 East Kendall Drive. Mike and I drove over to the house. On the way, we could see groups of kids singing Christmas carols in the neighborhood. Christmas trees were up. And in the houses we passed, there were parties going on, people enjoying themselves. When we rang the bell at the Greco house, a thin, blonde 12-year-old let us in, Gus Greco's daughter. She told us that the doctor was with her mother, that she'd collapsed when she heard the news of Gus's death. In one corner of the room was a tired Christmas tree. Lights were out. The tree looked as if it wouldn't last until Christmas. Little girl took our coats, asked us to sit down.
I'm Bertha.
Hello, Bertha. My name's Sam. This is Mike.
Hello.
Hello, Bertha.
How long's the doctor been here, honey?
I guess about a half an hour. Mom was pretty sick, cried and all, and then she fainted.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor's with her now, is he?
Yes, in there in the big bedroom. He said something about my papa being dead. Is that right?
That's right, youngster.
I still don't understand why Papa had to die. Can't you tell me?
You go to Sunday school, Bertha?
Oh, sure. I got a pin for not missing one Sunday in a whole year. Papa was real proud of me.
Well, in the Bible, it says, none of us liveth to himself, and no man dieth to himself. For whether we live unto the Lord. Whether we die unto the Lord. Whether we live, therefore, or die, we are the Lord's. I learned that when I was in Sunday school. You understand that, honey?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Well, what it means, Bertha, is that no matter what happens, it's the way God wants it to be. Maybe sometimes it gets a little hard for us to understand or know the reason. But that's the way God wants it. That's the way it's got to be.
But we had such a good Christmas plan. Mama was going to get up and we were all going to have breakfast. Papa was going to fix it. And then we were going to look in the trees and the windows. Papa said maybe we could even sing some Christmas songs for people. Why'd God have to take Papa before Christmas? Isn't that supposed to be a happy time, isn't it?
Yes, honey. Supposed to be a happy time.
Then why did God make us cry? Why'd he take Daddy now?
Like I said, I don't know.
You want to see something? A surprise?
Well, sure, Bertha.
In school, they teach us to make things, all kinds of things. Papa always spilled the ashes from his cigars on the rug. Mama always used to get mad. I made this ashtray for Papa.
Well, that's very nice, Bertha.
I was going to give him this for Christmas. So you think he would have liked it?
I'm sure he'd have liked it, Bertha.
Then he would have put his ashes from his cigar in here, and then Mama wouldn't have scolded him.
Bertha?
Now that Papa's gone, I have no one to give this to. Do you smoke, Mr. Pearson?
Yeah. Yeah, I smoke.
Well, then may I give it to you, Mr. Pearson? I love my Papa, and if I give it to you, I'll make believe it like I gave it to my Papa.
Well, thank you, Bertha. Thank you. Very much.
My Papa used to say, Bertha, someday you'll grow up and I'll see you. You'll be pretty just like Mama. But...
Yes, Bertha.
Now I'll grow up and be just like Mama. But Papa won't be here to see me.
The little girl, Bertha, sat down and looked up at me. I turned and walked out, still clutching the clay ashtray she'd given me. The house, racked with the torment of human emotions, seemed strangely silent. I left the silence. William Spall, fourth auto crash victim, was survived by his wife and 2 children. A boy 7, A girl, 5. Mrs. Spall was not in. A woman named Gansett, who introduced herself as Mrs. Spall's sister-in-law, told me that Mrs. Spall had gone down to the neighborhood church. She went to light 3 candles for the victims of that auto crash. Mrs. Gansett told me that Mrs. Spall hadn't been told about the 4th victim of the crash being her own husband. No one knew how to break the news to her. How do you tell a person about death? How do you break the news to them? We walked up the stairs into the church. Somewhere we could hear the choir practicing Christmas carols. I opened the back door and looked into the church. To one side, at an altar, I could see a woman bent in prayer. Mike and I waited for her to finish.
Sam, here she comes.
Yeah. Mrs. Spall.
Yes?
Oh, Mrs. Spall, we're police officers. Wonder if we could talk to you for a minute.
Oh, surely. It's about the accident, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Terrible thing. I know the wives of the men. Wonderful people, all of them. Now to have this happen so close to Christmas, too, is awful. I was just lighting candles for them. Said a prayer for their souls.
Yes, ma'am.
Good men. Every one of them. I don't know what their families are going to do. None of them had much. I guess they all have a little insurance. Of course, it's not going to do much good. Did you talk to them? The families?
Yes, Mrs. Spall, we did.
How did they take it? Pretty hard, I guess, huh?
Yeah, they did.
I think maybe I'll drop over to see them tomorrow. Maybe the next day. Yes, I guess they're going to need all the comfort they can get. Oh, it's just terrible, officer. I think about it and I get a feeling in my stomach that I don't want to think about. What had happened if Bill had been in that car? Oh, I don't know what I'd do. I don't even want to think about it. I asked my sister-in-law to come over and stay with the kids while I came to church. I felt so bad. I felt...
Yes, ma'am.
Well, it's at a time like this, officer, when people need courage. Oh, those poor families. God forbid if anything should happen to my Will. I would try to have courage.
Yes, ma'am. Courage.
Mildred and Nan, they have kids. A little something of the men they loved has been left over. But what about poor Grace? She has nothing. No kids, no nothing. I feel sorriest most of all for her.
Mrs. Spall, just a moment ago, you said you'd try to have courage if anything ever happened to your husband.
Yes, courage. Poor Will. When I tell him tonight about the accident, I know he's going to feel very bad.
You have children, Mrs. Spall. You have a little something left over.
I beg your pardon? I don't understand you.
Mrs. Spall, today, in that car, there were not 3 men in the car.
Not 3 men?
There were 4.
4?
That's what we want to talk to you about, Mrs. Spall.
Officer.
It's about your husband.
Bill? What about him?
He's been hurt, ma'am.
Hurt? When? How did it happen? Nothing serious, is it?
Yes, ma'am. Pretty serious.
Well, what is it? Tell me. What's this all about?
He was in the car with the others.
Oh. No, you're wrong there. Bill drove his own car. Oh, once in a while, he thought. Once in a while.
I'm sorry to have to tell you this, ma'am, but he was with them this morning.
Well.
Please, Mrs. Spall.
Oh, God. Oh, my God, my dear God,
Mrs.
what did
Spall,
I do?
Please, I'm sorry to have...
A policeman comes to tell me. I should have guessed.
Please, Mrs. Spall, please, if anything happened to your husband, you said you'd have courage.
God. I didn't know.
Well, try,
I
Mrs.
have
Spall.
no idea.
Here, lean on my arm.
No. No.
I'll be all right. Yes. Not 3. Man. 4. My husband.
If there's anything we can do.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Where are you going?
I only lit 3 candles. 3.
Mrs. Paul.
I only lit 3 candles. I must light another. 1 more. To make it 4.
What's it all prove, sir?
I don't know. Not much, I guess. What do you say? How do you tell him?
I haven't written the words yet.
No. Guess I never will.
You have just heard The Survivors, based on an article by J.C. Furness, which appeared in Look and Reader's Digest magazines. Mr. John Hodiak appeared as Officer Sam Pearson. Others in tonight's cast included Carolyn Jones, Gil Fry, Ned Lefevre, Larry Dobkin, June Whitley, Norma Jean Nilsson, and Virginia Gregg. The Survivors was produced by Harry Bubeck, written by Dick Fettuccini, and directed by John Robinson.
The next time you press on the accelerator, remember the laughter of Leon Roberts. The next time you jump a red light, remember the humility of Emery Clipper. The next time you run a boulevard stop, remember the goodness of William Spall. And the next time, that there may not be a next time, remember the devotion of Gus Greco. The message could be written in the blood of the million human beings who have died, and you still couldn't read it. The answer's not something you can read in a book. The answer's with you and the others. Mrs. Roberts, Mrs. Greco, the Mrs. Clippers, Mrs. Spalls. They know it. They've got to know now. The funerals they're going to see aren't going to be figures in the paper. The masses said aren't going to be ordinary. The Kadishes aren't going to be read to somebody else. This isn't the end of it. There are going to be more. More scream of brakes, bursting crashes, reek of hot rubber slowly permeating the stifling air. Police coming, ambulance coming, the morbid gathering to stare. The ambulance goes, the police go. The crane and wreckers scrape away the metal after the human wreckage is gone, and the morbid drift away. But that isn't the end. That's only the beginning. Because the consequences go on, and on, and on.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.